Hello everyone, this is the next part of tutorial videos dedicated to inventory system, and after a few very hard minutes of thoughts, I have decided that we need such placeholders to be able to drag an item from here. For example, if we're dragging our secret pocket, to be able to equip it back, we need such slots. So we have to change our inventory system a little bit. And so let's open our inventory component. And here we gonna add slots. Let's add new variable and call it, for example, secret pocket slot of type BC container item. Let's move it to section called slots. And for now, we're gonna work only with this slot. And we will not need our items array. So let's right click, find references, and search for it, where it is used. So it is used here when we're adding our secret pocket to this array. Instead of adding this to our array, we're gonna remove this and set secret pocket slot. Also, for replicated project, select it and make it replicated and connect everything. Next, we're gonna go here. I think that we can delete our debug pocket for now. We don't need it anymore. We have ensured that our layout works fine. And we can move it somewhere here and remove this execution pin. Compile. Let's search for items here. So here what it does, it gets all items and it recursively starts replication of all items stored in our inventory for now. Now we have to do it in another way. Let's create a function and call it get all slots. Move it to category slots. Make it a pure function. Make it private. No, not private. Let's make it public, but make secret pocket slot private. So in this function, we're gonna make array and plug for now only secret pocket slot. And we're gonna return, add return node and return this array. Let's rename an output from array to slots and navigate back where our items are used, and we're gonna call get items get all slots and use them in this for each loop. Next, get all container items is not needed anymore. It's gonna return us wait, what? It didn't return us anything? Was it even used to get all container items? Where it is used, find references. Well, now we can delete it from here and call get all slots. And find it here and call. And here in find item, we cannot do that. We cannot just replace it with container because we can have a container that is lying inside of another container. And in this case, we really need get all container items. So how get all container items should work? Let's add return node back here, and it's gonna return us an array of type BC container items. Compile. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna get all slots And we have to recursively search for every item in our inventory that is a container, like we are doing in initialize. I think we have to recursively do this. Let's copy this from initialize function, go back and paste it here. So here we gonna get an item and check if it rows not empty at the branch. If they're not empty, we have to add them to some local variable that will already exist here. So let's get this local container items and add this item. And after everything is completed, every loop, we're gonna return these local container items. Once again, why we're doing this? Because like in Tarkov, we can have our get all slots functions will return us tactical rig, pockets, backpack, pouch. But what if we have a backpack and we have another backpack lying inside of this backpack, which we're opening and we're finding one more backpack, which we're opening and we can find one more backpack, and so on, so on, so on. This is a normal thing for Tarkov, and so let's implement this. And we also can open few backpacks and interact with some objects in, for example, 10th backpack in our inventory or in our character. That's why we're looping through each item that are stored for now. So we can save compile and well, let's get items and check again if it is used somewhere. It is used in remove equipped item. So our object that is representing an item should have its type so that we are able to define what is the type of an object, whether it is backpack or tactical rig or something else. So we need to know its type. Now, for that, let's create an enumeration in our inventory folder, blueprint enumeration, and let's call it E container slot type. And for now, let's add only secret pouch. Save and close it. Well, now let's open our container item object and add a variable called container slot type. Well, we also need to have none because not every item is a container item. None. None is gonna be first because it is a default variant of, and let's open an object again and change type for container slot type to E container slot type. Let's make it instance editable, expose don't spawn, private, not replicated, and by default it is none. Save compile. Let's open our BPF container helper functions, refresh this node, and connect container slot type to an input. Now let's open our inventory component, initialize function, and for our secret pouch, we're gonna select secret pouch. So what do we have to do now? Where we have stopped? We have stopped on changing a remove equipped item function. So here we're gonna check a type of this item. We're gonna get slot type, and we can't do that because we have marked it as a private and we didn't create any function to get it. So let's duplicate some function like get actor to spawn and call it get container slot type. And instead of factor to spawn, we're gonna return container slot type. Compile and save. Return to our component, and here we're gonna get container slot type. Delete everything from here, and we're gonna switch here, and if none, then we're doing nothing. If secret pouch, then we're getting our secret pocket slot and setting it to none, to nothing. Or for now we're setting it to nothing, but a little bit later we will set it to some placeholder item object. Or not, I'm not sure yet. Add a sequence node before switch with holding S keyboard button and left clicking on an empty space. On then 1, then 0 we're gonna switch on slot type, and on then 1 we're gonna call that inventory has updated. Okay. So that's it for now. Let's check if it will work. Now we have some issues. Or let's refresh. Okay, our secret pouch is not shown. Our secret pouch is not shown. For what reason? Secret pocket, I'm sorry. Well. So get all container items looks like it returns us frozen, not empty. Let's see what it will return us. It returns us nothing. Pouch. Get items from item. Oh, yes, for sure, because this function, get all container items, returns us every item inside of our inventory except get all slots. So this first array will not be added. But we have to add it to this inventory too, so we're gonna get local container items here and add. Like this, and it should work now. Yes, secret pocket is displayed, items are collected, so we didn't break anything. Well, now we need to be able to display some placeholder if an item is empty, like if we dragged our pouch, or like here, like in Tarkov, for tactical rig. Well, how we gonna do that is a good question. I think that we can open our component, and in get all slots we are returning an empty slot for when we are removing item from a slot. Where is our function remove item, remove equipped item? Here we are setting our secret pocket slot to nothing, but we can set it to some other value, like let's construct object, create item or construct item. For a secret pocket when it is empty. So outer is gonna be self, name is gonna be secret pocket. Thumbnail is gonna be empty for now, but by the way, it should be something, some placeholder. So I'm gonna, let's create it. Let's create it. Let's duplicate this T secret pocket. T secret pocket. I'm gonna call T secret pocket placeholder. Let's open it and change it a little bit. Maybe let's change an alpha a little to 0.5. And saturation from 1 to 0.2, maybe 0.1 to 0. So let's make it gray texture, and let's create a let's duplicate a my secret pocket and call it a my secret pocket placeholder, and use this texture instead of this texture. So this is going to be our placeholder. Now we can open our inventory component back and use this material instance. So here in thumbnail, the same for rotated. Rows. Now what about rows? We don't need any rows here, and we don't need any actor to spawn any actions, and square thumbnail should be the same, and container slot type should be secret pouch. So well, let's see how it will be drawn. I think that we'll have some artifacts like these lines because we don't have any rows. Well, nothing is drawn, by the way. Nothing is drawn. And what if I will make an empty array, not an empty, but empty row? Oh. After constructing this item, we have to connect item to this set secret pocket slot. Well, this is how it looks now. I think it's fine. Also, I want to fix one more issue. I don't want to draw this secret pocket text here for equipped item, because for equipped item it is drawn here. Let's open our widget for an item, VB container item. Open our refresh function. Not refresh, open our event graph and find pre-construct. And here we gonna set, and here we're gonna get is equipped item and select on is equipped item. Depending on is equipped item flag, we're gonna get our txt item name and set its visibility. Set visibility. And connect return value of selection into visibility. So if an item is equipped, so for true case, if it is equipped, we're gonna make it hidden. If false, we're gonna make it visible. So now for secret pouch, we will not see title secret pocket. We will not see title secret pocket here. Well, now we can drag it and we can see a placeholder, but we cannot place it back here. Well, but what if I want? So I want to be able to drag it back here, and I want it to be colored with green. To do that, let's open our widget blueprint container item again. And open our on drag over function. Here we are checking if item rows are empty. That's not enough because item rows for our placeholder also empty, but it is an item that is equipped on us. So we should check if item rows are not empty or item is an item that is currently equipped. So what do we have to do? We're gonna get is equipped item and check it like this, like or is empty. Let's replace is empty with not empty here and do it like this. Replace false with true. It's more logical to create it like this, not like I have created it previously. And so now, if it is not empty or is equipped item, then we have to draw our square, but it will be drawn red because it is checking if this placeholder has enough place to store this secret pocket that I'm dragging now. And we need to fix it. We need to check whether we are working with a basic item in our inventory or whether we are working with equipped item. We also need to be able to check whether this item is a placeholder or not. So let's open our BC container item object again and add a new variable called isPlaceholder of type boolean, instance settable, exposed and spawned private, not replicated. No, not replicated. And by default it is false, it's not a placeholder. And let's create a function that will return us this value. Let's just copy get container slot type and call get is placeholder and return this is placeholder. Let's open our widget blueprint container item back. And well, here we are checking if we have a place for item in container. We have to do it only if we are trying to work with not a placeholder. So we're gonna add a branch here. And what do we want to change? We want to change if an item that we currently currently dragging over, so our placeholder, we're gonna get an item that it is not a placeholder. We're gonna call get placeholder and check if it is not a placeholder, not boolean. So if we're trying to drop an item to not a placeholder, then we can check if there is a place and so on. But if we are trying to drop an item on a placeholder, what do we have to do? We have to check if their slot types are equal, because we cannot drag for example, a tactical rig to a face cover slot. These slots have different types. So we're gonna get an item and call get slot type. Also, we need to know a slot type of dragged item. So this is gonna be an item from drag and drop content. We're gonna call get slot type. And we're gonna check if they are equal. So if they are not equal, then we're gonna set brush color of background border to red. So we're gonna duplicate set brush color for border and make it is the same as here. Also, these parameters, these colors should be in parameters, but you can do it by your own, I'm sure. Now, if true, we're gonna do the same, but with green color. Well, that's it for colorizing. Let's now check it. And it's not working. It's not working. Secret pouch. Um, well, why doesn't it working? Let's set the breakpoint here and check it. Okay. It doesn't even reach this branch. Oh. Let's open our BPC spatial inventory component and refresh construct item in our remove equipped item. Refresh. Where is variable for is placeholder? Let's open our container item back, select is placeholder, instance editable expose on spawn, private. But I don't see it here. Oh, we don't see it here because it's a function in our blueprint functions library. Let's open this blueprint function library. And here we have a new parameter is placeholder, and let's connect it to an input of a function. Compile, save. Let's open our component back, and for our placeholder we have to check this and make it true. Well, now we can drop it here, but nothing will happen. Also, we have an issue when we can, let me show you, for example, remove it, and we can drag this placeholder, but placeholder should not be draggable. So let's open our widget for an item and open on drag detected. So on drag detected, not on drag detected, on mouse button down, let's open function on mouse button down. We are calling detect drag if pressed, if mouse button is pressed. But that's not enough. We also have to check, let's set the branch. We also have to check if an item that we are trying to drag, let's get an item, is not a placeholder. Let's get is placeholder, not boolean, and connect it here. So now, and return unhandled in false case. Compile, save. Let's start it. And now we cannot drag it. Also, mouse hovering is showing. So let's copy this condition that we have added. Get placeholder with branch, open event graph, and let's find on mouse enter and on mouse leave. We should not do anything with this if item is a placeholder. So we're doing this only if item is not a placeholder, like this. So we cannot do anything. Also looks like our, why is it colored with green? On drag cancelled, where is on drag cancelled? On drag leave. Here, event on drag leave. We're not doing anything because we're checking only if item get rows are empty. And we should also add check if item is a placeholder. So we're gonna again replace is empty with not empty, not empty, and do this only on true and check or. So we're changing this color on drag leaf item. If item get rows are empty, then we're changing color. Wait, what? Why do we even need this check here? On drag leaf. On drag leaf we have to set this color to gray in any case, I think, so we don't even need a branch. I don't know why. So now we cannot do anything with a placeholder, but we want to be able to drop our secret pouch on our placeholder. So let's open our widget for container item and open on drop. So what's happening on drop? On drop, we're checking if item rows are not empty. And again, now it's not enough. We have to check if item get is placeholder. For item placeholder, it should also work. So we're gonna add or and connect it to a branch. Next. Now we are getting items that we are trying to drop and searching for a place in inventory. This should be done only if we're trying to drop not on a placeholder. But we have to check if we're trying to drop on a placeholder. So let's add a branch. And on true we're doing this, and on false what we're gonna do, we're gonna get an item that we're trying, on which we are trying to drop. That's an item from variables get, and check is placeholder, not boolean. So on false, so if it is a placeholder we will receive false. What we have to check? We have to check that slot types of item that we're trying to drop and item on which we're trying to drop are equal. So we're gonna get item and call get slot type. We're gonna call the same function from an item that we are trying to drop. This is an item from our drag and drop operation and connect it here. Next, let's check if they are equal. Not like this, equal enum and add a branch. If they are equal, then we have to call something to equip this item instead of placeholder. In case of false, then we have to try to drop this item somewhere in an inventory. So in case of false, we gonna call this can add item to inventory here. And in case of true, we have to equip it to a correct slot. So let's open our component and we need a function. We need a function like equip item at slot. Let's create it and call it equip item at slot. We need to know an item that we want to equip, item of type BC, container item, and slot of type E, container item, container slot type. Or we don't even need to know a slot because we can get it from an item. So we only need an item And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna get slot type and switch on it. Switch on e-container slot type. Well, also, I'm not sure. I don't remember how it works in Tarkov, but what if I drag a backpack onto this backpack? Will it store it inside of it, or will it replace this one with a new one? I think that it will store, so our logic should work correct. So, equip item at slot. If slot is secret pouch, then we're getting secret pockets. Well, I've called it secret pouch after looking here, but in my case it's secret pocket. So rename it if you want. So in case of secret pouch, we are just setting this item to a secret pocket slot. Compile, save. That's all for this function. For application, we can also make it private. Open event graph. I have commented everything here and add custom event. Call it event equip item at slot. It's gonna call this function. So it will have an input of an item, duplicate it, and call it server equip item at slot. That will call this function. Server event should be private and should run only on server. And this event should call server equip item at slot, like this. Compile, save. Let's open our widget for an item, and here on true we're gonna get our inventory component and call event equip item at slot. In case of non-replicated application, you're calling not event equip item at slot, but just function equip item at slot. That is not private. And we have to provide an item. It's gonna be a local drop. No, it's not gonna be a local drop item. No, it's gonna be a local drop item. So we're gonna plug a local drop item here. Compile, save. Let's try it. So, okay. It is equipped, but we forgot to refresh an inventory. Let's open our component and open function equip item at slot and add a sequence before switch. Connect then 0 to switch and then 1 to call on inventory updated event dispatcher. Compile, save. So let's collect something. So as you can see, a place where this something is was stored stays the same. Rotation stays the same. Well, so what do we have to do now? I think that we can add a few more slots to check. For example, instead of secret pocket slot, let's add, for example, bag slot. Compile, save, and let's open our enumeration. Where is it? And let's call it bag. Oops, bag. Next, navigate to inventory and let's open our function get all slots. Add one more pin to make array and connect back slot here. Don't forget to make it replicated if you're creating server side application. Also for server side application, we previously added on rep items function that was generated us because we were listening for changes in our inventory. Now select secret pocket slot and instead of replicate it, change it to rep notify. Open it, and here we're gonna call on inventory updated. The same for back slot, rep notify. And let's move them to some, no, we cannot even move them to some category. So that's it. Now let's open function initialize, and we need to make back slot to fill it with some default value, with some icon for bag and so on. So here in initialize, let's add the sequence pin again. And we need to create an item for a back slot, but it will be much easier. We're gonna call construct item, connect it. Outer is gonna be self. Dimensions are not needed because it's gonna be a placeholder. Name bag. I don't have any thumbnail, but well, let it be mi. We don't even need thumbnail, we need only square thumbnail. Mi secret pocket placeholder is the same one. Container slot type is gonna be back. Is placeholder should be checked, and that's all. And we have to set it to a back slot. Set it here. Compile, save. Now we see a back slot, but it is without a thumbnail for some reason. Well, why? We have put it into... Oh, we have created a square thumbnail, but we have never used it. So let's open our VB container item, widget for an item, open a graph, refresh, and navigate to a place where we are setting an image. Here we are setting an image, but we have to select by this boolean which image we should set. So let's select is equipped item and select a material that we're gonna use. So if this item is not equipped, then we're using item get thumbnail as previously, and in case if it is equipped, then we're gonna use square I'm sorry. Also, we have added square thumbnail here, but we haven't created a function. Let's just duplicate get thumbnail and call get square thumbnail. And it's gonna return us, we'll not check rotation, it's gonna return us just a square thumbnail material. Compile and save. And let's navigate back to our widget for an item and call get square thumbnail here. Compile, save. Let's play. Well, so this is a bag. Placeholder is for secret pocket, and we cannot drop it here, as you can see. But we can only set it into our secret pocket slot like this. So, but you can see that if we're putting it here, nothing is happening, because in this case, a function called drop item in front of an actor is called, so we have to create some actor for this secret pocket that will be spawned if there is no place in inventory, but you have to do it. I'm sure that you will be able to do it by yourself, we already created it. So that's it for this tutorial, and thanks for watching, hope it will help someone.